To mark their presence, please delta X-ray. Echo Papa 0. Okay. I already had 2 MUD, 2 TS and 2 TN and 2 Echo Papa Zulu. Hey Harsha, very good morning to you. The station please. Right, Mike Tango Kilo. Good, Isri. Good to hear you. Finally managed to wake you up early in the morning. Trying to change your habits. HI. Good morning. Any other station please?
VU2 mic uniform Delta.
VU2TRE. This transcription came out very poor, Madhu, not like what we heard about a few minutes back. I'm not sure why this was so. Can you try again, please? To MUD, to BDX.
Okay, V2 BDX, V2 MUD. Coaxial, Bharat, hope it is better now. Bharat, the trial on YouTube Live is started. This will be only for people who are outside the range of the Mysore repeater. And after the technical talk, we will be taking questions only from people who are outside the coverage area. If they have got any queries, they can put up their queries on YouTube Live. We'll try and take up the call questions from there also, Bharat. V2 Bravo Delta X-ray, V2 Mike Uniform Delta.
Roger on that there. Okay, maybe once the live is okay, it's 15 minutes past 7. I think we should time to start the check talk there. Good morning, everybody. This is VU2 Bravo Delta X-ray. Handle is Bharat, like Bravo Hotel Alpha, Romeo Alpha Tango. Mysore Repeater, VU2 Tango Romeo X-ray. Frequency 144.25 with a negative shift of 600 kilohertz. 15 minutes past 7 in the morning on Sunday, and time to start our weekly TED Talk held every Sunday morning. The subject for today is coax cables. As usual is VU2 Tango Sierra, Coleman Ganesh, Golf Alpha November Echo Sierra Hotel. I'll pass it on to him now. VU2TS to BDX. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, Roger, Bharat. VU2 Tango Sierra. Thank you, Bharat. Stations on frequency to 145 to 5 MHz. Repeater, the Repeater Society of Mysuru. VU2 Tango Romeo Echo. Welcome to Tech Talk held every Sunday. Mornings between 7:15 and 7:45. And this is VU2 Tango Sierra. My name is Ganesh, and the QTH is VR Hills. 14 June 20. Take a look at coax cables. What all of us are using. Coaxial cable, or simply coax, is an electrical cable consisting of an inner conductor, a dielectric insulating material, covered by a conducting shield in the form of a braid, and the whole thing covered by a protective outer sheath or jacket. The coaxial refers to the inner conductor and the outer shield sharing the same axis. Geometrically, that is. Coaxial simply means the two or more linear forms share a single common axis. I really don't understand this because, as I see it, All cables have an inner conductor by an insulating material and the sheet covering it. So all cables should be coaxial as well. So maybe if you can explain these two, call me at the end of the session, HI. According to the records, the coaxial cable was first used in 1858 in England, but its theory was described only in 1880 by a British scientist, Oliver Heaviside, who patented the design in that year in England. So it has a British patent of cable studies. Coaxial cables are extensively used by amateurs on HF, VHF and UHF bands. So we need to be familiar with the properties of the coax cables and understand some of its limitations to make best use of them. Therefore, let us cover some of the common types of cables available to us and learn about their properties. Most of present-day rigs are solid state and has an output impedance of 50 ohms. So we will take a look at the 50 ohms cable. But first, what is impedance? Many of us have, confusion about this impedance. Is it the same as resistance or what? So the 50 ohms that I spoke about earlier is not resistance but impedance of the cable. Let me explain. An ohm, not Hari ohm, but the Oscar Hotel Mike ohm in electronics is a unit of resistance. That is, the actual resistance to the flow of electrical current through a circuit. It is measured in unit of ohms. In the most basic applications, when we are dealing with DC, such as the power from a total volts battery, we measure the resistance in units of ohms. However, when there is an AC or alternating current in a circuit, we are no longer measuring resistance alone, we are measuring impedance. You will notice they both mean the same thing, that is, to resist or to impede flow of current. Alternate current is more complex because it is not merely the magnitude of the signal that is being assessed, like DC, but the phase of the signal also comes into the picture. An AC waveform is constantly switching its phase between negative and positive at a certain number of times per second. For our regular 234 volts house electricity, it changes phase 50 times per second. We know it as 50 hertz. The complex relationship between this magnitude and phase means that a circuit consists of three things that are resisting or impeding the flow of current. The first we already know, it is resistance. The second one is inductance. And the third one is capacitance of the circuit. Inductance essentially measures voltages that are induced in the circuit from the electrical current's magnetic field itself. The capacitance effectively measures the electric charge that is stored in the circuit from the presence of these voltages. And the combination of the circuit's inductance and capacitance together is called reactance. So you're all aware, it is not just household power that uses AC. Practically everything in our modern society uses alternating current in the form of radio frequency or RF. For example, FM radio station that we listen to operates on a frequency of 88 to 108 megahertz. Cell phones operate at 900 megahertz and so on. To properly transmit these high frequency RF signals, you need to have a medium of some sort that can deal with the complex interaction of resistance, inductance and capacitance. Specially designed cable for this purpose is the coaxial cable. Logically, the name coaxial is appropriate too because it coaxes the RF signals to pass through it without much of a loss, HI. Delta X-ray for a report, please go ahead. Tango Sierra to BX here. Coming in loud and clear there, Ganesh. The slight hissing noise as usual in the background, of course, is there. Audio is loud and clear. Let's check with Bangalore how the signal is. VU2TRE to BDX, how's the signal, please?
Going strong, Ganesh. Continue.
Roger on that there. Any other stations that would like to mark their attendance? I already have 2 Tango Sierra, 2 MUD, 3 DPN, 2 EZ and 2 FTK. Any other station, please call back. 3 UNO, 2 Sierra Papa Sierra Papa. Okay, I have 3 UNO and 2 Sierra Papa Kilo. Any other stations, please? Echo, uniform, uniform, loud and clear. Uniform, uniform. Thank you for the report, please. Any other station? Say, the Ganesh, you may go ahead, please. 2TS, 2PDS. Very here you can withdraw. Yeah, I heard you, Salim. To the other stations, very good morning to all the stations who just now checked in. We have Salim also, VU2TRE, stand by please, all stations. So let's continue. There are three main types of 50 ohms cables. Precisely 50 ohms, but actually it's 53.5 ohm. About rounded off because of difference is not very significant. RG58 has a diameter of 5.33 millimeters and can be used for mobile stations as long as we use short lengths of not more than 10 meters and without any joints. RG8U has a diameter of 6 millimeters, slightly larger than RG58 and lower loss. Useful not more than length of 20 meters on frequencies below 50 megahertz and the maximum of 10 meters up above 50 megahertz. Local QRM. Okay. The other type of coaxial are the RG174. It is great because it is so thin, only about 3 millimeters outer diameter, allowing it to be used in tight spaces. For amateurs who want to be absolute high power handling capacity of 1 gallon or 1000 watts, RG213 coaxial cable is the way to go. 213 is our thickest coaxial cable at nearly 12 millimeters or half inch. All the above cables will handle 100 watts or more at frequencies below 500 megahertz. That means HF, VHF and UHF. Coaxial cables use RG ratings, Romeo Golf ratings, to distinguish between the different kinds of cables, like as I just now said, RG8, RG58, RG213, etc. Do any of you know what RG stands for? Do any of you, let's see now, wait, about that, I don't know what is RG. Yes, to BS. Negative on that, Ganesh, negative please. Sorry, I don't know. Maybe someone else could help out there. What about MED? To MED to BDS?
Well, first time this question has popped into my mind also, but offhand I think I can say it's a round ground because the braid is on the outside, Ganesh. A real pot shot there. With Tango Sierra with MUD.
Yeah, that's it. It is here, Ganesh. It is rated gauge by any chance. Again, shot in the blind, Ganesh. So, none of that. Anyway, thanks for coming back to me. RG is an old military term. When they first started using the cables, they wanted to differentiate between the different types. So they had a radio guide. Just like we have a wave guide, they call it a radio guide. That became RG and it stood. Amphenol and all other makers use the same term, RG. So I hope you got that okay. And the number, RG is what indicates what type it is and what is the impedance and so on and so forth. Hope you got all that okay. The number it distinguishes the different cable specifications, but they are randomly assigned. It's not in order, like starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. It's randomly assigned. So we cannot imagine that RG8 is thinner than RG58 and so on. Not necessarily. Dozens of different coaxial cables are being manufactured now, but only ones that most amateurs need to worry about are the RG58 and RG8 and RG213, of course. So these are the types we want to talk about mainly. There will be certain loss in all coaxial cables, which sometimes can be very high. The main reason of signal loss in a coax cable are, number 1, resistive loss, and number 2, dielectric loss. And both these get worse as the cable is old and weathered. In fact, if you're sitting in front of me, if I'm talking to a live audience, I would ask how many of you are using coax cables more than 5 years old. Please raise your hand. Sure, most of you raise your hands, the child. Resistive loss arises. clearly thick wire and not a thin transformer wire or something. As the frequency increases, the skin effect becomes more pronounced. That is, the depth within the conductor through the current flow becomes reduced as the frequency increases. As these higher frequency signals are squeezed closer and closer to the surface of the conductor, the effective cross-section area of the conductor through which they may flow is decreased. So when the area through which the current is flowing is decreased, the electrical resistance increases. Dielectric loss refers to transmission loss resulting from the interactions of the alternating electric field with the insulating material that separates the center conductor from the surrounding shield in the coaxial cable. Generally, if the insulator is thick, the dielectric loss is high. So for frequencies in the HF range, dielectric loss is usually not very significant in most cases, so we needn't worry about that. However, as the frequencies increase into the VHF range, and even more significantly in the UHF range, the dielectric loss becomes more significant with most coax insulating materials. As the frequency increases, the loss also increases due to both resistive and dielectric properties of the cable. But remember, the resistive loss dominates in the HF range and the dielectric loss dominates in the VHF range. UHF range, these two characteristics are added together to produce much more loss. The thick dielectric insulating material means higher dielectric loss, and the smaller diameter of the conductor results in lower surface area, which means residual loss is also very high. So, a very low density insulating material combined with the large surface area conductor, such as the large diameter multi-stand copper conductor, will produce the lowest loss figures for a coax cable. The unit for measurement of transmission loss or signal loss is decibels, dB. In all cables, the loss increases with frequency and magnitude of the increase gets larger as UHF and above. For example, a 3 dB of signal loss means that you lost half of the transmitting power already as it exits your antenna. Needless to mention, this loss applies to both transmit and receive, which means we'll get less power output and we'll also have less signal input into the receiver. The cable loss will be determined mostly by the size of the cable, that is, rule of thumb. Big cables lower the loss, but depending on the quality of the manufacturer, meaning electric and used in the cable and the frequency of operation. The dielectric is the insulator between the center conductor and the metallic shield. Let us take, for example, a 30 used on a 2-meter antenna, which some of you are having to use because you're staying in apartments. You have applied to use. Online calculator, that calculates cable handling. Sorry. There's an online calculator that calculates the coax cable attenuation and power handling, according to which 30 meters of RT58 cable produces a loss of 5.5 dB, which means that only 28% of the power gets through the cable. It's unimaginable. Put on 100 watts and 28 watts goes out. In the calculator, it's shown as cable run efficiency. Cable run simply means length of the cable. Only 28% of the power going out to the antenna is crazy, so we need to avoid using RG58 for long of 2 meters. Anyway, I'm sure many would be interested, some of you may know it already. The URL for the online calculator is a very, very useful calculator. So some of you who don't have the information already can make a note. The URL is www.timesmicrowave, one word, timesmicrowave.com, stroke calculator. www.timesmicrowave.com, stroke calculator. And once you plug in the type of cable, the frequency of operation, and the length used, it gives you the complete horoscope of the cable setup. Cover something like 100 different types of coax cables, so we got all the cables covered there. Instead of RT58, suppose you use RT8 for the same VHF setup. The loss drops to 4.5 dB, the 1 dB less, which still is pretty bad because it translates to 36% of the transceiver output exceeding the RG8 for convenience. We have been telling others I'm running 40 watts to ground plane or whatever without knowing only some 8 watts is going up HI. RG86 is Mini 8. It is designed for the hobbyist and not governed by any military specifications. So it varies a lot in construction and quality. But it is supposed to be 6.1 meter diameter, that's about 1 inch, with a 16 gauge multi-stranded and the foam dielectric is usually very flexible. RG8U is a very old military specification, 52 ohms coax. It is 10.2 millimeter diameter with a 13 gauge single center conductor, single wire, and a solid polyethylene dielectric. As a mil spec product, it was discontinued years ago. However, as a commercial product, anybody can make it, sell it, and does not have any meet any particular specification. RG8U was replaced by RG2TRE long back. There is not a lot of difference between the two, except the 2 and 3 has always been a standard 13 gauge center conductor, multi-standard, okay? And at least 95% outer conductor braid coverage, and an outer jacket material that is much more UV radiation tolerant than the old RG8 product, which was degrading the exposure to the sun. Now we will look at the other mix that use a better dielectric material. There is a cable LMR 400, Lima Mike Romeo 400. It's also pretty popular among hands. It's also 50 ohms, and it has the same diameter as the RG8U, but with a lower loss dielectric known as 4PE. And the P is Papaco. It stands for polyethylene. The last 30 meters strength of this cable is only 1.5 dB. It is better than RG8U as 70% of the transmitted power reaches the antenna. Looks like we'll never have 100 watt going out. To Bravo Delta X-ray from VU2TRE here. To Tango Sierra to Bravo Delta X-ray. Mostly clear, only a little bit, paths missing for a few seconds in between, and now towards the end also. Otherwise, clear here. Check how the signal is in Bangalore, and then Madhu pass on to Salim also for his report there. VU2MUD to VDS.
Yeah, going 99.9% through, Ganesh. Only a couple of syllables in between get faded out. Go ahead, Salim.
Yes, sir. That we need to be concerned about, depending on the application. Cables with solid center conductors are less flexible than those with stranded center conductors, and we mostly need coaxial cables. In situations with single solid center conductor, there are chances that it may get cut when the antenna is swinging to and fro in the wind. It happened to me a couple of times. Multi-stranded conductor is the best. The dielectric material insulating jacket can also affect the flexibility of the cable. For portable operations, the best cable is one that is rated flexible because it is easier to handle and easier to use. The type of outer shield used in a cable can vary widely, with some cables providing much more shielding and isolation than others. So that's about it for today. As far as questions, I wonder if any of you have any questions. And if any of you know why this is called coax, why other cables are not coax, as I asked you in the beginning, you can give us a call. I'll pass it back to you to Bravo Delta X-ray, who can handle the net there. VU2BDX, please come inside.
Go ahead, Bharat.
Bravo Delta X-ray.
I think he may have a power cut there. Okay. Do you have any other callers or any queries for the Tech Talk today? We have to Mike Uniform Delta. Morning, Aparna. Please come in. Any queries on the talk today? We have to HNA, we have MUD.
Good morning, Madhu. Good morning, Ganesh. And 3 degrees Celsius. Have a nice day, Madhu, and everyone. 73.
Okay. Kesalapana, thanks for the call. 73 to stand by. We do Echo Papa Zulu. Any queries for Ganesh? Please come in.
It's a great session. Thanks a lot for various information right from the calculator to what is RG. So I have no queries as such, Ganesh. I look forward for more information next week. VU2TS, all technical stuff, VU2TS and group planning files.
Okay, Kesalasha, thanks for seeing up. Do stand by. V2 Delta Papa November. Is still there, Deepan? V2 Delta Papa November, Deepan, are you there? Okay, nothing heard. V3 Sierra Yankee Golf. Good morning, Salim. Anything for the Tech Talk? Please come in.
Good morning, Madhu, once again. Ganesh, I just wanted to ask, regarding the life of the coaxial cable. I'm using an RG2 and been almost 10 years. So, like you said, necessary to change every 5, even though there is no any physical problems with the cable, or if at all there is no any water ingress. Still, is it required to be replaced every 5 years to ensure the performance? MUD TS, this is 3SY.
Go ahead, Ganesh.
Morning, Salim, once again. Yes, you see what happens is, you check your cable now, you go out and check your cable now, it will not be as flexible as it was when you installed it yourself. That is true, it is relatively rigid right now. That's what happens when you weather it, So when this happens, what happens, the dielectric, the value of the quality of the dielectric reduces, and the dielectric losses will increase. So what I meant was, if you want a real perfect setup, then you have to change it every 5 years. But we don't do that. Like, we don't change everything. We don't change everything every 2 years, So we can go ahead and use it. But technically, if you want a perfect setup, it has to be replaced at least once in 5 years. Weathering. But instead, maybe in Calicut and in Chennai, maybe it has to change more often because, see, salt water moisture in the air or whatever. So all that is taken into consideration. But in general, if you put it outside in the sun and the rain, once in 5 years, I really think to change it if you can afford it. And if you really need that perfection, we need to SYG, we need to take. Okay, QSL, Madhu, that is true. Because we have this issue of extreme heat and mainly the humidity issue here in Calicut coastal area. Another thing is, for VHF, is it okay to 213 itself? Or if I change my RG213 to LMR 200 or 400, a little more low cables, how far it will help me in the signal reception, Ganesh, TS group SYG? It won't be much, Salim. It won't be much. So you can use RG213 itself. It's ideal. It's low loss and pretty good for our kind of use, right up to UHF, Salim. QSL, Ganesh, it has been very informative this morning. Local networks is highly overcast, and we had a very through the night. That's okay, Madhu, take it up. To MUD with the group, that is 3SYG from Calicut.
Okay, QSL, right. QSL, Ganesh, what you say about the cable is absolutely right. Well, I'm guilty myself of using a cable that is close to 20-year-old, Ganesh. So we'll need to consider change over there. Also, once we let it lie on the roof, because of the heat and other things, it is bound to degrade. No, we keep pushing as long as possible the HI, Ganesh. We had VU3 uniform November Oscar. KK, are you still there? Any queries? Please come in. VU3 uniform November Oscar.
Q3, bueno. Good morning, Madhu. Good morning to Ganesh, Bharat, and all stations on the frequency. Lovely to listen to this.
Go ahead, Ganesh. Did you get that?
No, good morning, KK. Your chemistry quite okay, but just when you asked the query, then there was some fading and I couldn't pop the question. What was the question really, please?
Okay, I didn't listen on reverse. So, KK, can you please repeat the question again?
Ganesh, the difference between resistance and impedance, Ganesh.
Resistance and impedance, the relation is what is asking Ganesh. Go ahead.
Said it yourself, Maru. The question is the relationship between resistance and impedance. If you ask who?
QSL.
Ganesh. Okay. As I said earlier, in a DC circuit, the direct current circuit is like a battery operated setup, whatever. There is, there is only resistance. We measure only resistance of the DC because there is no other waveform there. In DC there is no waveform. When you use alternating current or AC, we have the waveform, AC waveform, 50 Hertz, goes up and down 50 times a second and so forth. So this gives rise to impedance, gives rise to capacitance on one side and also the inductance on one side. These two items. When these two items are get together along with resistance, that is known as impedance because impedance comes only when AC is used. And our other signal is always AC. I hope you know that, the KK. You will know from VU2TRE. Yeah, Roger, Ganesh. Got that, Ganesh. The difference between DC and AC. Yeah, this was a question which, even when I initially became a ham, used to always confuse me a bit. But a lot of clarity on that, Ganesh. Thank you, Ganesh. 73. See you later.
Okay, QSL, he says thank you, Ganesh. He had this query for a long time there. 73 KK to stand by. Bravo, Mike Tango Kilo, do you have anything for the Tech Talk? Please come in. We to Mike Tango Kilo, Kesari, are you there? Okay, not heard just now. We to Sierra Papa Kilo.
Good morning, Ganesh. Excellent informative talk. But I would like to know what more about the LMR, mic radio. This is MUD, so Sierra Papa.
Okay, what more about LMR, Shankar? Anything specific or generally, right?
What's the expansion of LMR now that he said that about what RG is? Got a bit curious on that, right?
Good, Ganesh?
Okay. No, I have no idea. It's a good question. Just like RG, you want to know what exactly is LMR? No idea, Shankar. I mean, maybe you need to find out. VU2TS, VU2TRE. Roger. We'll look out for it, Ganesh. Thanks very much. Repeater is strong at my end. Very cloudy here. 24 degrees starting. Now the traffic will be on the picture. The night time of it. Also, Mike came from Delta with the Sierra Papa.
Okay, KSL, Shankar, thanks very much for that and do stand by. Do we have any more callers on the Sunday morning Tech Talk and discussion? Please come in.
VU3 Bravo Juliet November. Tango uniform.
Oh, okay, right. 1 minute, Mahesh. I forgot you had also called Biju. Anything to add or any queries? Please come in, Biju.
Yeah, VU2 MUD into Tango uniform. Yeah, very good morning, Madhu. Good morning to Ganesh and the whole team there.